Hi guys, DCRS here, and today I'll be doing a budget deck profile on a new structure deck that just came out, Cyberse Link. And today, this is going to be my budget deck profile for the new Link summoning type of structure deck. Well, budget competitive deck in a way. It's the first one for the Cyberse, or in this case, Cyberse and the Link summoning mechanic for a structure deck. So yeah. Without further ado, I will be starting with the deck profile. First things first, we play free of this card, if I can get in the right picture. Dual Assembler Worm. What this card does is, if this card is in your hand graveyard, you can banish 2 other Cyberse monsters from your hand, or face up on your field, or face up on the field, so you can banish both. Special summon this card, but its attack becomes halved. You can only use this effect once per duel. Sorry, not once per duel, once per turn. Some of these cards actually are once per duel, but it's just once per turn. And also, once per turn, you can banish 1 card from your hand, and also banish 1 monster on the field with attack less than or equal to this card's basic attack. So yeah. Banish this card. Anyway, you run through this because you need it. It's your boss monster, and it's also the main card which you use to abuse banish and special summoning in a way. It's really weird, but this is just it's not really a special summon spam, but depends on how you play the deck. And anyway, on to the other ones. I play 3 of this. Free Balance Lord. What this card does is during your main phase, you can pay 1,000 life points and special summon. Normal summon again. Null Cyberse monster. And also, if this card is banished, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Bounce the Lord once per turn. That's the only effect you can use for once per turn, the banish effect. But yeah, once per turn, you can only use the double summon effect for Link monsters. Cyberse, I should say, not Link monsters, Cyberse type monsters. But it's really good. You combo it off with a certain card that I will explain later on in the deck. Profile, sorry. Had something stuck in my mouth. That sounded weird, but I play free. And main free. Boot Staggered. This card is really good. You need probably 2 to 3 of these cards, because what it does is, if you normal summon a Cyberse monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And also, if this card inflicts damage to your opponent, you can pretty much special summon a token, so it allows you to link summon again next turn. So yeah, that's really handy. And also, I run 3 of this card. It's called Rom Claudia. Now, what this does is, if it's normal summoned, you can target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, except this card, in general, and add it to your hand. This card is drawn by battle card effect. You can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck, except Rom Claudia. Now, keep in mind that is a very, very important effect, because you can actually use this effect in a certain way, which I will get onto later on, I believe. Yeah, I think I'll explain it later. But it's really useful because what you do is you can special summon this. When this goes, it's interesting because I'll explain later when I reach to the Cyberse cards, certain Cyberse cards. I play two backup Secretary. You don't really need this card as much. You can just run 1 of these in one, but if you want to have a backup play, wink wink, you have this card main deck as well. So having 2 is not bad, because you want to draw it probably sooner or later, but in terms of getting this card out as quickly as possible with Rom Claudia, yeah. You can actually get this out pretty easily, and also you can search it out with a certain card later on, which I'll explain in a second. I play 1 Cyberse Wizard. This card you don't really need to play, but I just play it in here just for the lols and stuff. Since it's a Cyberse deck, you might as well play. It's good card to actually make your opponent's monster change battle position, and yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty alright. I play 1 Stack Reviver. This card is interesting because it's only once per duel. Keep that in mind. But if you use this for a Link summon, this card is used for a Link summon. You can target 1 level for a lower Cyberse monster that was used for a Link summon and special summon it. So it's really handy. Also, I play 1 client. It's an interesting pun for client. When this card's normal summoned, you can when it's normal summon set card face up field, you can all Cyberse monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense during your turn only. So it only affects this card only works during your normal summon phase. But if this card will be destroyed with battle or card effect, keep that in mind. You can destroy one Cyberse monster in your hand or face up on your field instead. Now, this effect is very, very important because if you combo it off with Rom Claudia, you special summon Rom Claudia, and if you have another one in your hand, you can use Client that's on the field, and instead, if this card would be destroyed by battle or anyway, you can destroy Rom Claudia in your hand or face up on in your field instead. And Rom Claudia, since it's not once per turn, you can special summon another Cyberse monster from your deck. So it pretty much combos off with these cards, and you technically only need one of this. Because if they try to destroy this card in any way, they'll pretty much, if you have another Rom Claudia in your hand as well, you can destroy that in your hand and you just keep spamming out your field. So that's why I only run one of this and 3 of this, because this card's very, very important, and this card's not really, but you can actually get it out really easily. So yeah, and you can also search out another Rom Cloud and stuff as well. So it's very, very important for this combo in a way. It's more of like your opponent tries to destroy this as quickly as possible by non-destroying. Try and get rid of this as quickly as possible with a non-destroying card, or they pretty much try and do it in a interesting way. I only play one Dotscaper. The only reason why I only run one of this is because you can only use each effect once per duel, and it's very, very important because if this card is sent to graveyard, you can special summon this card, or if this card is banished, you can special summon this card. So yeah, you only use each of them once per duel, so it's very, very important that this card only works once. So you only need it once, so I don't see any reason why you run 2 of it, because it can be a dead draw later on. And it's got good defense as well. Keep that in mind. If you use Rom Cloudy to special summon this, it's really, really strong. And it'll come back even when it's destroyed. Also, I play 2 Mathematician, because you can only run 2, thanks to the new ban list. Well, that came out a while back. Also, I run 3 Jester Convicts. This card's good for Link Summoning spam, because you can special summon this card from your hand instantly when if you have it in your hand. So it's really, really good. And also, if this card summoned, if this card summoned this way, you can, during your opponent's end phase, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, return both that target and this face-up card on the field. It's not bad. You mostly use this card for Link summoning in a way, so that's why I only run 3 of this, and yeah, you can actually abuse this effect pretty easily if you want to Link summon even further with your graveyard or banish plays. And 1 Blood Ball, last but not least. Now that's just for the monsters. For spells, I also run, let's see where I'm going with this. I run 3 of this card, Signet Backdoor. Let me just place it here. What this card does is, you can target 1 Cyberse monster you control. Doesn't matter if it's a, actually kind of doesn't, yeah, actually no, it doesn't really matter. So you target 1 Cyberse monster you control. It can be either a monster or a Link monster, in fact. And banish it. If you do, add 1 Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand whose attack is lower than the banished target. Also, during your next standby phase, return it. So it also can attack directly, which is really, really powerful. And also, yeah, you can only use 1 per turn, but it's really useful because it allows you to do certain things with Link summoning in a way, because you can, well, it's interesting because you can bring back the Link monsters and they go to the main monster zone, and yeah, you can pretty much do what you want with it. It's really, really interesting. I like this card in terms of its Cyberse for support. Also, for the other spells, I run 3 Gold Sarcophagus because you need this at free. It's what helps you abuse your cards, such as the Balancer Lord, and also other plays as well. So yeah, any card that gets banished, that requires to get banished, you need this card tremendously. And also, I run 2 DDRs, Different Dimension Reincarnation. Man, that was hard to talk. So what you do is you discard a card. If it's a monster, that's good, and you can special summon it in attack position. the banished monster, I mean. You target one of your banished monsters and special summon it. So you can pretty much summon back your Inko Talkers or Dragate Wizard or any other monster you can choose, and yeah, it pretty much comes back. Also, last but not least, for the spells, I run one Soul Charge, which comes in the structure deck. Now keep in mind, I don't run Cosmic Cyclones and all that, because this is my version of how I create it. You can actually main it if you want. You just take out a few cards that you don't think is suitable for this deck and just replace it and do what you want with it. And yeah, if you're playing competitively, I would definitely main deck the Cosmic Cyclones and Dimensional Barriers and all those good cards that come in this deck. Even though Soul Charge is a really good card that comes in this deck. But yeah, you need those cards in a way if you're playing competitively. But if you're just playing like straight out of the box and stuff like that, if you buy just 3 of this and you're just getting out straight out of the box, it's you don't really need it. But if you're playing more competitively type of thing, yeah, I would recommend running about 2 to 3 of it. You could probably decide the third Cosmic Cyclone or Dimension Barriers depending on how you do it. But yeah, that's just my recommendation for it. Also for the traps, let's just get on with this. 3 Storming Mirror Force, 2 Recode Alive. The reason why I only run 2 of this instead of 3 because it's not as good and requires you to have a Cyberse Link monster on your side of the field. And you don't want to dead draw this, so having this at 2 is, or 1 in fact, you can actually play this at 1, but I think its banished effect is really important, so having it at 2 is probably the key number, I guess you could say. But you can run 1 if you want, just to test out, or just run 2, but I think 3 is too much, because you might dead draw it, and I don't like dead drawing cards in certain decks. You want to make it as consistent as possible. And last but not least for the traps, I run 2 Premature Return. This card has a unique effect where it says, banish 1 card from your hand, which means if you have a monster in your hand, like, let's say, Balancer Lord, you can banish Lord from your hand and target one of your banished monsters that is already banished, and special summon it in face down in the business position. This card's alright, but it's also interesting because you can actually combo with this off with, you can banish Rom Claudia and do stuff with it as well. So you banish Rom Claudia, if it's already banished, and you use this effect to banish your Balancer Lord and special summon back Rom Claudia in face down defense position. And yeah, it's really good. You can actually do a lot of key combos with certain cards with Premature Return, which is pretty good in this deck. That's why I like this. And last but not least, for the extra deck, which you should all know if you bought 3 of this, you run 3 Inko Talker. Let me just position it. 3 Inko Talker. What it does is, before damage calculation, let me just adjust the brightness with this, if it works. Who cares? During damage calculation, if this card is, let me just adjust it. Once per turn during damage calculation, if your monster this card points to battles the opponent's monster with a high attack than it, you can make that monster unable to destroy a battle. Also, you take no damage from that battle. Also, after damage calculation, have this card and one of your monster have one monster this card points to gain attack equal to the attack of that battle opponent's monster battles. Oh my god, I'm confusing myself. Basically, you just gain attack. Also, I run 3 Dragate Wizard, since you can play 3 in this deck. And yeah, it has an interesting effect. The one, if it's colored with 1, you can do double piercing. Sorry, double battle damage. Not double piercing, that would be broken. Actually, how do you do double piercing? I don't know. You can do double battle damage. And also, once per turn, you can target 1 card on the field, banish it. And also, if it's co-linked with 3, you can, when a card or effect is activated, you can pretty much negate it. And last but not least, 3 Binary Sorceress. This guy's not bad. It's actually pretty good. 2 monsters, requires 2 monsters, except tokens. If it's collected with 1, you can if this card battles your opponent's monster, inflicts battle damage to your opponent, and you gain that much life points. 2, if it's co-linked with 2, you can once per turn, there's a quick effect, so you can use it during any player's turn. Target 2 face monsters you control until the end of the turn. She wants to fly in a room. Half the attack with one monster you add the attack to them, or add the attack of the other monster. It's really weird. But it's an interesting effect. It's pretty good. It's a low-key card. But what's interesting about this deck is you can actually extra link with this. So what you do is if you have this in the left zone or right zone, depending, doesn't matter. If you can get out Trigate Wizard in the bottom left, sorry, the left hand zone. So you have Trigate Wizard here, right? And if you can get a Binary Sorceress in the other zone, since this card's pointing to here, I'm just trying to make room as much as camera as possible. Try and get another Trigate Wizard in the zone it's pointing to. So see, it's pointing to here. And then if you make your final card, which is Inko Talker. So then you can pretty much make a U shape, which is really, really cool, because you can actually extra link with this structure deck if you have the right plays involved. But yeah, your first step is something like this in one of the zones, and then you work backwards. So it doesn't matter if they block the other zone, you can actually work the other way around, and you work the other way around, It's interesting. But yeah, this is just a deck profile for the structure deck. Cyberse Link. Sorry, I've just been mumbling quite a bit. It's really hard to talk because there's a fly in the room, and I'm trying to get rid of it. But yeah, this is DCRS. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile for Cyberse Link. Budget deck profile for Cyberse Link. See you guys in my next video. See you guys. Bye.